Good, Anakin, good. Kill him.
We would be honored if you would join us.
In Revenge of the Sith, we have the fate-changing scene of Anakin giving into his anger and for the first time obeying Palpatine's command to kill someone. I always wondered, with that long pause between Palpatine, Dooku, and Anakin, there was plenty of time for him to expose who was really sitting in that chair. Especially, just before he was beheaded, he looked like he was about to say something. If we refer back to episode 2, we can see that Dooku revealed to Obi-Wan that hundreds of senators are now under the influence of a powerful Sith Lord called Darth Sidious. It was almost as if he was dying to just reveal the identity of Palpatine from that moment on.
What if I told you that the Republic was now under the control of the Dark Lord of the Sith?
Well, the novels really do once again provide more insight to the matter. The entire thing was planned by Palpatine for Dooku. He even told him how to fight Anakin, to kill Kenobi and go easy on Skywalker until he gave the command, to test him the entire time and let Anakin capture him. So in the film, when Anakin and Obi-Wan are making their way through the droids on the ship, Dooku and Palpatine are having an intense dialogue that I'll have to make several videos regarding because they go off into different tangents which are all very interesting. One part is about Dooku asking to save Obi-Wan, while another is about the future plans for Anakin to turn him and take orders from Dooku himself. Basically what's happening during this dialogue is that Palpatine promises Dooku a vision, a future, a job as a leader of the new Sith Order. Dooku begins to completely zone out and think to himself, which I'll narrate briefly from the book. Dooku couldn't wait to announce the creation of a new order of Force-using warriors. He will be the perfect commanding general for the Sith army, he thought. Dooku could only shake his head in awe. To think that only days earlier, the Jedi had seemed so close to uncovering, even destroying, all he and his master had worked for. But he should never have feared. His master never lost. He would never lose. He was the definition of unbeatable. How can one defeat an enemy one thinks is a friend? This was the day, the hour. The death of Obi-Wan Kenobi would be the death of the Republic. Today would see the birth of the Empire. "Tyrannus, are you well?" said Sidious. "Am I?" Dooku realized his eyes had misted. "Yes, my master, I am beyond well. Today is the climax, the grand finale, the culmination of all your decades of work. I find myself somewhat overcome." "Compose yourself, Tyrannus. Skywalker and Kenobi are nearly at the door. Play your part, my apprentice, and the galaxy is ours." Dooku straightened and for the first time looked at his master in the eyes. Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith, sat in the general's chair, shackled to it at the wrist and ankle. Dooku bowed to him. "Thank you, Chancellor." Palpatine of Naboo, Supreme Chancellor of the Republic, replied, "Withdraw, they are here." As Anakin and Obi-Wan enter, the fight as we saw commences, which in the novel is so much more interesting as we get to feel each character's perception of the fight and their Force energy throughout, along with their thoughts. Now, I do want to add this part in from the novel because it's very graphic and dark. I think you might get a kick out of it. He decides that Dooku should lose the same hand he took. Decision is reality here. His blade moves simultaneously with his will, and blue fire vaporizes black Corellian nanosilk and disintegrates flesh and shears bone. And away falls a Sith Lord's lightsaber hand, trailing smoke that tastes of charred meat and burned hair. The hand falls with a bar of scarlet blades still extending from its spastic death grip, and Anakin's heart sings for the fall of that red blade. Once Anakin has Dooku at his knees, what they cut from the film is what will answer our question here. It's something that I wish they kept because it just sounds so much more real. When Palpatine tells Anakin to kill him,
Kill him. Kill him now.
Dooku actually screams out, "Chancellor, please," he gasps, desperate and helpless, his aristocratic demeanor invisible, his courage only a bitter memory. He is reduced to begging for his life, as so many of his victims have. "Please, you promised me immunity. We had a deal. Help me." Which is when Palpatine says do it, and Anakin beheads the Sith Lord. "Do it." So in the novel, Dooku does actually cry out for his life. However, why he didn't just tell Anakin that Palpatine was a Sith Lord is simply because he believed that this could have been all part of the plan, and he was playing along. He was doing his part. He wanted nothing more than to be the new commanding general for the Sith army. He knew if he revealed Sidious, then it would surely be all over. Now, once he realized that it was Palpatine's plan all along and not both of theirs, by the time he understands it was too late, his head was already rolling on the ground behind him. I'll also add, during his fight with Anakin as Palpatine encouraged Skywalker to use his anger and kill Dooku, he realized treachery, after all, is the way of the Sith. What do you think would have happened had Dooku told Anakin right then and there the true identity of Palpatine, if he just stopped and told him that this guy is the Sith Lord that you've been looking for? I think that could have been a cool fanfiction. I've done something along the lines of this, but I went off into a far more different tangent and storyline altogether at the end. I might just have to make a second version more true to the timeline. Thanks for watching, everyone. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
The Force will be with you, always.